The Kansas City Chiefs selected running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the 32nd pick of the 2020 NFL Draft. After bursting on the scene in 2019 as the featured back in an LSU offense starring more NFL talent than I've seen in any college offense in years, including fellow first-rounders Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson, Edwards-Helaire wasn't on most people's draft boards as a first-round running back, and that includes my own. I expected Kansas City to go defense-heavy in the draft, coming off a Super Bowl run that the offense around Patrick Mahomes deservedly gets the lion's share of credit for. But Andy Reid had a little surprise in the back pocket for us and decided instead to make his offense even deadlier by adding a piece to the mix that the Chiefs haven't really had during the Mahomes era. A zone running back with vision that can force defenses to come out of nickel and dime and drop safeties into the box to stop the run game. I want to go over Edwards-Helaire's tape from the Chiefs' Week 1 routing against the Houston Texans in this video and explain just how much he means to this offense already. With 138 rushing yards and a touchdown, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has not only proven fantasy owners right for drafting him in the top 10 in many leagues, but has also established himself as a real deal running back to the NFL defensive coordinators for the rest of the season. Something that often fell to the wayside when preparing to play the Chiefs due to their overwhelming passing attack. We're starting off with one of his very first carries of Thursday night season opener. The Chiefs are in a tight split pistol formation with Travis Kelce at the top of your screen as the X-receiver isolated against the cornerback. You're going to be seeing similar formations a lot from Kansas City, as they like exploiting this matchup to get Kelce some easy 5-yard speed out routes throughout the season. You see Sammy Watkins going in motion across the formation and taking the flat right on the snap to spread the defense out a little. As the cornerback has to sit on Watkins' flat route, the safety Michael Thomas bails because he needs to pay attention to Travis Kelce potentially coming down the seam, and the defense effectively opens up to provide a little buffer on the second level should the running back break free. The Chiefs are running an inside zone with Edwards-Helaire, and you can see the left guard and tackle get a nice double team to wash out the 3 technique. However, the Texans actually called a very strong answer to the exact play Kansas City is running. Defensive end Charles Omenihu, number 94, is stunting into the playset A-gap, clogging Edwards-Helaire's first read and also shifting the offensive line, allowing Benadryl McKinney basically a free shot at the backfield. There's really not much room for Edwards-Helaire as the stunting defensive end gets a strong push on his blocker, and he has an unblocked linebacker waiting to meet him right at the line of scrimmage. The young back really demonstrates veteran-level vision along with elite elusiveness, recognizing his lane behind Eric Fisher and making players miss on a dime, all within fractions of a second and earning himself an 18-yard carry after escaping to the second level thanks to the little spook motion we noted earlier. Next play, Kansas City is in a pistol deuce wing set with Travis Kelce going in motion across the formation, freezing the cutback defender number 59 in his place for just a second. Again, Edwards-Helaire finds the lane, this time cutting outside in just a split second picking up a good gain. Most rookies would take the Trent Richardson approach here and just putting their helmet down into the first gap they see, making a difference between 3 yards and 9 yards on this play. On this next one, you have the Chiefs in a very traditional I formation running an outside zone behind a fullback. The Texans defensive line does a good job stacking at the line of scrimmage, but Edwards-Helaire demonstrates great patience, waiting for a hole to develop and then just using his athleticism to double the scripted yards on the play in the open field. But this next one is what you will be seeing a whole lot from Kansas City. They line up in a shotgun tray open with Kelce once again isolated as the X-receiver on the bottom of your screen. This formation is notorious for flood and vertical concepts that can be nearly unstoppable on an offense with as much speed as the Chiefs have at all positions. Historically, Kansas City doesn't run out of formations like this because they haven't had the quality of back that could make an inside zone read, beat a linebacker in the open field one-on-one, and make an explosive play into the secondary with elite speed. You'll see that this is exactly what Edwards-Helaire does on this play. The Chiefs were borderline unstoppable over the last 2 years from sets like this, with Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, and Mecole Hardman posting too many coverage mismatches to handle. And that was with defenses committing to the pass pretty much as hard as it gets. Adding this element of a legitimately dangerous breakout running back is only going to create more room for Patrick Mahomes to work with in the long run. And just to top it off, I wanted to show this play to take a look at Edwards-Helaire in the gap or power run game as well. You're not going to see this called a lot by Andy Reid, simply because the offense is built all around having receivers on the field and winning with speed in space, so they will mostly resort to zone runs from the gun and pistol formations. This is a very straightforward power run out of a heavy set to drain the game clock before the 2-minute warning. The JJ Watt just kills 2 people with one swim move and is screaming down the backfield before the handoff is even complete. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire is able to drop his hips on the spot, make a cut that would blow out most people's ACLs in tight space, keep his eyes in front of him to find the gap and take the ball for another first down to ice the game, showing that he can even run over people at the end of it. To conclude, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has convinced me after just one NFL game that his presence will add a whole new dimension to an already fearsome offense, that Andy Reid will only open up the playbook from here. The Kansas City Chiefs offense legitimately got better over this offseason, and I believe the only close games we'll see from them will be shootouts on account of how sometimes spotty the defense can be. But considering they also have the best shooter in the game right now, it will take a lot to prevent this team with this play calling from going back to the big game once again. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you found it insightful, please leave me a like and consider subscribing to Beyond Football. I'm planning on covering a lot more players over the season, and I also upload a weekly predictions podcast on my channel called The Scoreboard, featuring fantasy football pro Smokey Ramirez from the Atlanta Trash Talkers. Thank you once again for stopping by, and I'm going to see you in the next one.